Hey guys, this is the video lesson for 6.7, and you are going to learn how to simplify algebraic expressions. So let me show you an example one what to do. I have the book steps blocked out so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So when it says simplify this expression, 4 times 6x, I want you to think of this like a mini distributive property. This means 4 groups of 6x. So, for example, if you had the distributive property, if you had 4 times 6x, let me fix that. If you had 4 times 6x plus 1, you already know you would do 4 times 6x and get 24x, right? So that's all you're really doing here is you're doing 4 times 6x, which is 24x. Think of it. If you had 4 groups of 6x's, that would be 24x's. So that's all you get, 24x. Now, I'm going to guide you through A, B, and C because that was only one example. So kind of stick with me. So in example, or problem A, we have 3 times x times 11. So here's some things we can do. We're going to use our properties, our commutative and distributive and associative property to help simplify these expressions. So watch what I'm going to do first. In A, and do this with me, by the way, I'm first going to use the commutative property to switch the order of the 3 and the x. So I'm going to rewrite it as x times 3 times 11. Then I'm going to use the associative property, which means I can group the numbers however I want. So I'm going to rewrite it x times 3 times 11 and put the parentheses around the 3 and the 11. And now I'm going to solve it because 3 times 11 is 33 times x, and you know you write that, we really want to write 33 times x as 33x. So I use the commutative property to switch the order of some of the terms, and I use the associative property to move the parentheses. Now, just so you know, in reality, you probably wouldn't go through all those steps. So in reality, you'll most likely, let me get rid of this real quick. You'll know that you can multiply them in any order you want, so you'll really just do the 3 times the 11, which is 33 times, and 33 times x is 33x. So you don't have to go through all those steps that I just did. Now, in problem B, let's take a look at it. In problem B, we have x plus x plus x. So don't forget that this is the same as having 1x plus 1x plus 1x. And I want you to think of that as an x tile plus another x tile plus another x tile. So I want you to try to simplify this one on your own. So pause the video. See if you can combine all those like terms into one term. Restart the video when you're done. Go. Okay, let's see how you did. Now remember, when we simplify these, we're just going to group those all together as 3x's, right? Which is all you're doing here. 1x plus 1x plus 1x is 3x. That's it. All right. Now, let's go over to problem C. Now, in this one, remember yesterday with the inquiry lab, we have 7 x tiles right here, plus 8 of those small 1 tiles, plus another x tile. So, if you think of the inquiry lab, I'm going to put a little 1 there, we can combine the x tiles. So, if we add the 7 x's with the 1x, we have 8x. But then we just have to write the plus 8 ones. Now you cannot add the 8 and the 8 together to get 16x because remember, this is 8 of those long x tiles, this is 8 of those little 1 tiles, and they're different things. You can't combine them. So this is as far as you go with simplifying this one. All right, so if you need more time, remember, pause it and go back and do that. But let's go down and take a look at this example below. And then we'll have you try problem D. So in problem 2, it's going to ask us to write and simplify an expression for this problem. So as I go through it, I'm going to circle some of the important things. It says, 3 friends will pay X dollars for each admission to the museum, plus $1 each to view the mummy exhibit. A 4th friend will pay admission, but will not view the mummy exhibit. Write and simplify an expression that represents the total cost. So remember, it costs X dollars to get admission to the museum and $1 to view the mummy exhibit, right? Now, also remember that 3 of those friends are paying for that. So let's start out with those 3 friends. We have 3 friends. and they're each paying X dollars. Oops, that should be an X, sorry. They're each paying X dollars to get into the museum, plus $1 for the mummy exhibit. Now that expression so far that I have written down is for those 3 friends. But remember, we have a 4th friend. Is only paying admission, but will not view the mummy exhibit. So that 4th friend, we have to add on X dollars for admission for the 4th friend. But no 1, because remember, he's not or she's not going to the mummy exhibit. So it says, write and simplify an expression that represents the total cost. Well, this expression here represents the total cost. 3 friends are paying X dollars to get in, plus $1 for the mummy exhibit. That's in red. And in blue is this 4th friend who's only paying admission. But now we have to simplify it. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute this part. 3 times X is 3X, plus 3 times 1 is 3. And then I'm just going to bring down that plus X. So do you see what I did so far? I distributed this red part into 3X plus 3, and then I just brought down the plus X. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So I can add the 3X with this 1X here to get 4X. And then I'm going to bring down the plus 3. Remember, I can't combine the 4X and 3 because they're different things. They're not like terms. So this is the expression simplified. All right, now here's what you're going to do. You are going to try D on your own. We'll read it together and get it set up, but then I want you to pause the video and give it a shot. Ready? In D, it says, write and simplify an expression for the total cost of 6 friends to go to the museum. So let me highlight that. 6 friends are going to the museum if only 4 friends view the mummy exhibit. Now remember, it cost X dollars to get into the museum and $1 to view the mummy exhibit. So give it your best shot, pause the video, and when you're done, restart it. Go. All right, let's see how you did. Now first off, our initial expression could be different, but as long as we simplify it and get the same thing, that's what matters here. So if I have 6 friends going to the mummy exhibit, I would say that's 6 friends times X dollars. Right? And only 4 friends are going to view the mummy exhibit. So that's plus 4 times 1. Okay. Now, the only thing I could do is 4 times 1 I know was 4, plus 6x. And I can't combine those because this is an x term. This is just a regular number term. So this is my expression simplified. So if you had it, you're good to go. Let me just explain it. So these 6 friends are paying X dollars to go to the museum, but only these 4 friends are paying $1 to see the mummy exhibit. So that's it for that. All right, on to the next page. Now on this next page, we're going to be simplifying expressions with 2 variables, and it really isn't that different. So let me show you example 3 real quick. In example 3, it says simplify the expression 14y plus x plus 22y. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite it, but I'm going to use the commutative property to switch these 2 terms around. So I'm going to start with, oops, that's highlighter, x plus 14y plus 22y. And then I'm going to rewrite it using the associative property. I'm going to move those parentheses. So I have x plus 14y plus 22y. Notice I didn't change anything yet, but now I'm going to move my parentheses here. So finally, I'm going to add up 22y plus 14. And 22 plus 14 is 36. So that's going to be 36y. And I'm going to have the plus x. And this is as far as you can go. You cannot add x's and y's because they're not like terms. So we have x plus 36y. Now in example 4, I'm going to rewrite this using the distributive property. So you already know how to do this. We just now have two different variables. So I do 4 times 2x, which is 8x, and 4 times y, which is 4y. That's it. And I can't add x's and y's together. And now we're going to go down to example 5, where I'm going to factor 27x plus 18y. Now remember, we've got to find the biggest thing that can go into 27 and 18, which is 9. So I'm going to factor out a 9. Now, 9 goes into 27x, 3x times. And 9 goes into 18y, 2y times. And that's your answer for number 5. All right, and now, here's your job. Your job is to do E, F, and G. Simplify those, and in G, you're going to factor those. When you're done, restart it. Go. Okay, let's see how you did. So for E, I'm going to start by adding the 3x with the 2x, which gets me 5x. And I can't add the 9y to it, so I'm just going to write plus 9y. That's as simplified as you can get. You can't combine x's and y's. Now in F, I'm going to distribute. 7 times 3x is 21x. 7 times y is 7y. Don't forget your plus sign. That's it for F. And in G, I'm going to factor. So I have to decide the biggest thing that goes into 12 and 8, which is 4. 4 goes into 12x, 3x times, plus 4 goes into 8y, 2y times. And that's it for G. All right. On to the last page, we're going to go over problem 6, example 6. So this says, let me get my highlighter ready. The farmer's market sells fruit baskets. Each basket has 3 apples and 1 pear. Use A to represent the cost of each apple and P to represent the cost of each pear. Write and simplify an expression that represents the total cost of 5 baskets. All right, now watch how I set this up. Now the key is, remember, A is the cost of an apple. I'm going to write that down. And P is the cost of a pear. Okay, so I'm going to start by figuring out what is in each basket. Now, I'm going to use parentheses to represent my basket. All right, now up here in purple, I have highlighted each basket has 3 apples and 1 pear. So if I have 3 apples and they each cost $8, that's going to be 3 times A. But don't forget those pears. I have 1 pear, and it cost P dollars. So that's 1 P. Now, also don't forget, when you write it with 1 P, you really just write the P. So I'm going to get rid of the 1. All right, so far, this is a basket. Remember, the parentheses represent my basket. So there's 3 apples that cost $8, plus that 1 pear that costs P dollars. Now, the last thing it says is write and simplify an expression that represents the cost of 5 baskets. So if this parentheses represents a basket, 5 baskets, I would just put a 5 in front of it because I have 5 times 3A plus P. So that's 5 baskets. Now, that's my expression, but now I need to simplify it by distributing. So I'm going to start by doing 5 times 3A, which is 15A. Don't forget my plus sign. And 5 times P, which is 5P. So this is the expression in simplest form. 15 times A plus 5P. All right, you're done with me. I hope this helped. And please ask me any questions if you're stuck. And if you're absent, I know you have some more problems to be doing. Thanks for watching.